Hi guys, welcome to Top Wisdom. Today I'm gonna do the summary of My Children, My Africa. Plot summary. The play opens in a Bantu classroom in South Africa in 1984. Mr. Anela Mialaita, a teacher at Zolile High School, is moderating a debate between his star student Tammy Mbikwana and Isabel Dyson, a student from the affluent white girls' school, Kamdebo High. Despite Tammy's passionate closing remarks and his popular it among his classmates, Isabel wins the debate. After the rest of the class leaves, Isabel and Tammy talk, and despite their different backgrounds, a friendship is born. A couple of days later, Mr. Mialaita, also known as Mr. M, searches out Isabel with a proposal. He asks her to join forces with Tammy in an inter-school English literature competition. Mr. M explains that it is his intention to show that two people of different races can work together. He also admits that he hopes Tammy will be able to win a scholarship from the competition. Isabel explains that when she first went to Zolile High for the debate, she was uncertain about how the black students will react to a white student, but that fear soon transformed into friendship. She excitedly accepts the opportunity. A few days later, Isabel arrives to the practice only to find Mr. M alone. Before Tammy joins, the two discuss Tammy, and Mr. M hints that Tammy might be involved in some trouble. So he asks Isabel if Tammy has confided in her. Tammy rushes in late, and their studying begins. As Tammy and Isabel quiz each other, it is obvious from their banter they enjoy each other's company. However, the light-hearted discussion turns dark when it moves into politics. Mr. M chastises Tammy for being part of the group that vandalizes in the name of political protest. Mr. M suggests that the group should sit down to discuss the racial injustice instead of using violence. It is evident Tammy doesn't agree, but he remains respectful. Isabel guides them back to studying for the competition. She also invites both Mr. M and Tammy over to her house for tea the following Sunday. After Mr. M leaves, Tammy criticizes Mr. M for his old-fashioned ways. He disagrees with Mr. M's analysis of the struggle for freedom, what Mr. M considers vandalism and lawless behavior. Tammy believes is necessary. Isabel urges Tammy to talk to Mr. M about it, but he refuses, saying that he can't talk to a teacher that way. The discussion between the two heated, and Isabel leaves unhappily. Act number 2. Isabel and Tammy are once again studying when Tammy reveals that he is pulling out of the competition. Tammy explains that he will be boycotting classes the next day in an effort to protest Bantu education practices. Isabel hopes the two can still be friends, but Tammy does not think it will work. Mr. M joins the discussion, hoping to make Tammy rethink his decision. Tammy disagrees and believes that words are not enough to evoke change. Mr. M reveals that he has been approached by the police to make a list of those involved in the boycott. The three live in anger. In the midst of the boycott, Mr. M goes to the school the following day but is met with an empty classroom. Tammy comes to school, despite the boycott, to warn Mr. M that because the teacher gave the names of the protest participants to the police, the comrades can have denounced him and will kill him. Tammy tries to convince his teacher to fight for the comrades, cause Mr. M speaks passionately of his love for Africa and laments the needless deaths that are occurring. Tammy desperately tries to prevent Mr. M from going outside, but Mr. M walks out of the school to ring the school bell and is killed by the mob. Tammy visits Isabel one last time to tell her he is leaving the country to join the movement. Isabel expresses her inability to grieve for the respect teacher. Before he leaves, Tammy tells Isabel of a place where Mr. M felt at peace. Isabel goes to that location, pays her final respect to Mr. M and vows not to waste her life. Let's talk about the main character for a few minutes. Mr. M, Anela Myalaita, a black middle-aged teacher at Zolile High School in Comdebo, South Africa. Mr. M brings together two students from vastly different backgrounds. Tammy, Mr. M's favorite student, and Isabel, in an attempt to cross the boundaries of apartheid. As a follower of the Chinese philosopher Confucius, he has been a long-time teacher of nonviolence, believing that change is racially segregated South Africa will only come about through education. Tammy Mbukwana, a gifted young black man who is a student of Mr. M's at Zolile High School. He is 18 years old and understands the boundaries put on him by apartheid. Though a long-time student of Mr. M's peaceful beliefs, he is drawn toward the radical student movement. Isabel Dyson, a gifted young white South African, otherwise known as African, from Condembo High School, a prestigious all-white girls' school. Though Mr. M's invitation to the debate at Zolile High School, her friendship with Tammy and Mr. M opened her world to the complexities of race. Okay guys, this is a short summary of My Children, My Africa. So guys, if you want a part 2, maybe for me to explain further or something, please comment down below and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.